hello. And I'm actually recording this after I've recorded a bit. I don't know if I want to call it episode, but about a half hour or so. So kind of got off to a bit of a slow start. We didn't make it terribly far. Um, yeah. Anyway, I thought I should actually explain what the Enhanced Edition mod does in case you're unfamiliar. Um, it's sort of like a Requiem for Skyrim type of thing, except it's probably a bit more hardcore, frankly speaking. Um, yeah, and in fact, combat and getting hit is even more punishing. And the newer editions have injury systems as well, which affect your combat, and they also affect the enemy's combat. Alchemy's changed, skill sets are changed. Adrenaline is a big thing. Vigor, so you have your vigor bar in addition to some other things there, as you can see. And in fact, the newer editions of the mod, which have yet to be released, are going to change things even more radically, and that should be really fun to see. But that's not what I'm really addressing here. Just kind of wanted to give an idea that it's a fairly hardcore setting. Although if you're quite good at the game, I'm sure it's not too much trouble for you. But for me, I have a bit of trouble. So yeah. And in case you're um, wondering, I was going to um, try and do as many quests as I can and avoid death. Obviously, I may. It kind of depends. There may be as much as maybe I'll handle 3 deaths or something like that. I'm not quite sure. They could come really fast. I get smacked by a giant twice or something, and then the whole thing's done. So I want to be kind of careful about things. But part of what the Enhanced Edition mod does is it changes things to make them more realistic. So, for example, if you get hit in the back, you're probably going to die. Um, Unless you have super high level armor, or maybe a few perks. If you go into combat and you're not prepared with potions, or your blades are not oiled, you're not going to be able to change that in combat. You just can't stop and then drink a potion. I mean, you actually could, but the enemies are really aggressive, more so than vanilla, and you're probably going to get spanked. So I would not advise that. I have managed to pull it off once or twice, but usually it's a very poor idea. So with that in mind, you can see why I'm, when you go about things, you want to be prepared and approach each fight carefully and think about what you're doing and think about, if you have an oil on or a decoction or a potion or whatever it is, you want to have that going. So yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about the mod, because I will link Orager's video down below, and that gives you a in-depth explanation of the mod. So you don't really need me to say much. But yeah, hopefully this is an okay little set of videos, and yeah, so we'll see where we go with this.